About to put this out real quick. Let's see what we got here. Oh, hello viewers. Another beautiful day and night. Hope your 5 senses work, health and strength is good or excellent. Yep, what do we got here? Zen 6 Ryzen spotted in AIDA64's latest software beta and preliminary support for a next-gen AMD desktop. This is a typical AIDA64 preliminary support cadence. Points to a possible Computex 2026. Says there are some new signs of life in the next-gen AMD Ryzen development cycle. On Monday, Final Wire adds preliminary support for next-gen AMD desktop, server, and mobile processors. Yes, that means that the system utilities development software team will have received some early information morsels about Ryzen 10,000 series processor. If AMD follows the expected naming convention, that is, Twitter user HXL spotted the updated, but at the time of writing, there have been yet another update to the latest beta, mentioning processors such as the Intel Core Ultra 3, aka Lake H/S series. Says here, as you can see, the first beta of the next gen AIDA64 is graced by preliminary support for AMD next gen graphics chips. However, before we go on, readers should be warned to rein in any excitement. Looking back at AIDA64 history, such an announcement typically comes around a year ahead of any product launch. Therefore, if this plays out as expected, Ryzen 10,000 chips will likely be central to AMD product launch plans at Computex 2026. Says here, Medusa coming to desktops. Even though it may be a year off, we have a few leaks based on information morsel about the Ryzen 10,000 lineup that are worth summarizing here on the desktop side of things. Probably of greatest interest to our PC enthusiast audience. Leak info from March suggests upcoming Zen 6 architecture processor will remain compatible with AM5 sockets. These CPUs are apparently codenamed Medusa. Says there, it would indeed be a great nugget of news for AM5 platform adoptees if it were to be confirmed that Ryzen 10,000 chips would be compatible with the existing socket. Moreover, the potential move to 12-core chip-led dies, CCDS, with the next generation would be a major step for consumers. And it says, we think it is likely that AMD will use a TSMC N3P 3nm class process for its Zen 6 based products in 2026, with AMD 3D V-Cache packing processor proving to be powerful lure to gamers. It is also experienced to deliver Zen 6 based Ryzen into the X3D subfamily. Will the Ryzen 7 10800X3D be the next gaming legend from AMD stables? Check out our Ryzen 7 9800X3D reviews to see the devastating mix of price and gaming performance it will have to eclipse. And what else we got here? It says Medusa point on mobile. Recently we also reported on some tantalizing next-gen AMD Ryzen 10,000 mobile processor leak. The so-called Medusa point processor will reportedly carry up to 22 hybrid cores based on Zen 6. However, these are likely even further away from the desktop chip based on Zen 6 with a launch window of late 2026 and early 2027 expected. Pushing Medusa Point are AMD's plan for Gorgon Point, a Strix Point refresh family which will launch in the interim. And that is that. Now, we got 2 comments. This is what we got here. Someone says here, I'd like to see 10 cores become the low end. And Green said this 64 cores ought to be enough for everyone, right? Should be. It's called contentment. So the real question is people, are they content? But with this article though, you have to take it with a grain of salt. You know, when it comes to AMD news, keep what hopes alive. About their newer Zen 6 architecture. So right now, this is all speculation right now, but there's no proof. We'd have to wait till when it gets close to next year, to 2026, till we get some more news, or we might get some news before then. But other than that, man, this was a pretty good article. What it shows you is that AMD, is preparing for the future. Having something ready for next year. Something for their fans to talk about. So yeah. Zen 6, well, we'll see what happens in the days and weeks and months to come. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Crystal, Star Wars, Star Trek, Thing, Borg, Dark Section. Go home. Peace.